Hello everyone, my name is Nancy and today I am here with Mr. Parag Diwan. In 2003, he became the youngest vice chancellor in the country at University of Petroleum and Energy Studies. He is currently the chairman of Paradigm Consulting and acts as an advisor to several HE institutions. Hello sir, we are honored to have you here today with us. We would like to know who the real Parag Diwan is.
Thank you, Nancy, for inviting me to this small chat. Your question is very interesting, and Parag Dewan is incarnation of many things. He is a core an academic. He's
Yes.
also an adventurer. He's also a philanthropic person. He is also an author. He is also a builder. He is also a designer, and that is the reason we call this book, of the professor who broke the mold.
Yes.
Because normally professors are unidimensional, boring teachers, chalk and
Yes.
board.
Yes.
But if you are more than that, that's when you break the mold.
Yes. And we are so proud that you have achieved so much at this age. Okay, sir. So now let's talk about your book, The Professor Who Broke the Mold. My question to you is, when did you get this aspiration to write a book? Did something or someone inspire you?
Good question. I've already told you the genesis of regarding the title of the book.
Yes.
And once when you have done a lot of things over a span of life, a life that is lived differently, a life that is lived well, there comes a time you chronicle all those activities, happenings, your life journey into a book form, which will help the readers into understanding the nuances of institution building, how you grow as the nation was growing. During my peak professional years, the nation was going under tremendous transformations, economic reforms happened, many interesting things around the country happened. So that gave me an inspiration to put together into a book form, and so that posterity can read it, learn some things out of it, and enjoy my life story.
Yeah, that's great, sir. So, when we hear the word vice chancellor, we presume a person who will be this person with a complete formal attire in a blazer or with a tie all the time and be strict all the time. But we have heard that it was different with you. First of all, you became the youngest vice chancellor in the country. So, what were the challenges you faced breaking all those stereotypes?
When you achieve things young at a relatively younger age, or when you are a pathbreaker, things are always very different. And I recall a very interesting incident that once upon a time, parents of a student wanted to meet vice chancellor. They were agitated, and they were ushered into my room. So they took two steps back. They never thought the guy sitting across the desk would be the vice chancellor.
Okay.
So that kind of experiences happen. But yes, at the end of the day, it's your work, it's your dedication, it's your care for the students that matter. So this is part of life. This is part of growing up, and this is part of being different.
So that incident must have been a very hilarious incident.
Hilarious incident, as well as kind of always in the memory.
Yes. And we would like to know how you manage balance between your work and writing a book.
Life is small, short. You have to live it fully, and best thing, and one of the best skills anybody can hope for is time management. How you slice and dice 24 hours into multiple activities. Of course, one is the professional responsibilities that you have chosen to take in, and family should not be left behind. Sometimes it happens, you are so much in work, your family suffers, but that should not happen. So you should carve out a family time, you should carve out a professional time, and then you should have your own hobbies and me time, as they say, to write books, to explore things. Like I told you earlier, I am also a designer, and I dabble into car designing, conversion of cars, and things like that. So idea is, what you want to do, you will always find time, and if you don't want to do, you will never find time.
That's a really good advice, sir. Thank you. Are you planning to write more books?
Well, this is actually not the first book, but this would be maybe 30th book. But all the other books were more academic books in the
Okay.
area of information technology,
Okay.
energy, science, business, commerce. But this is kind of a semi-fictional work, which is inherently a autobiography. Of course, at this stage in time, I'm trying to dabble if I can, metamorphosize myself into a fiction writer. Maybe that only time will tell, but that's one of the aspirations definitely in mind.
So you have interest in many areas.
Yes.
That's interesting. What advice would you like to give to all the entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs?
Yeah, entrepreneurship is a big challenge, and there is always a debate whether entrepreneurs can be made or they are born.
Yes.
So I believe somewhere in between, yes, there is certain kind of mind makeup or entrepreneurial mindset that you possess, but that can be honed by training, teaching. So my advice is that if you believe in something very, very strongly and you want to be doing that the way you want to do it, then it's good to become an entrepreneur. But journey is very, very hard. It's not going to be a soft journey. There will be many pitfalls, many roadblocks, many obstacles. You have to have perseverance, patience, and ability to work with diverse kind of people, your detractors, your supporters. So entrepreneurship is a hard journey, but if you're determined, you can definitely make it and scale the peak.
Okay, sir. So how's your experience as an authorpreneur so far?
Well, I have been what they call edupreneur. Edupreneurs have been who build academic institutions.
Yes.
And now from that, I'm transforming to entrepreneurship, whereas that I'm going to spend maybe later part of my life in becoming a full-time author, write fiction, write topical books, which would find markets and that can help in make some living.
Yes, that is necessary. So, you come from a family of scholars, started a career in technology. Was it your childhood dream or things just happened?
In this book also I have a full chapter which is called DNA program. Sometimes your DNA have it. If you come from an academic, willy-nilly, you will get into academics. So yes, I am a technology buff. I like to, experiment with whatever is latest and current in technology. But I also saw my parents' life while growing up, and I didn't want to be a classical professor, who goes and teaches the class and comes back. I wanted to be a professor, and I coined a term then, corporate professor. Professor who will build institutions, run institutional professionally, be able to see that institutions are in relative surplus so that can be plowed back, make institutions better, give better facilities to students. So that kind of a makeup was always in mind. And of course, as you said, it is DNA program coming from a scholarly family, so many things were already pre-programmed. And later, I just built the skills around it.
Okay, sir. It was really nice talking to you, sir. Thank you for your valuable time.
Thank you, Nancy, and all the best. And let's hope the book will do well.
Yes, sir. We hope so.